All right, good morning, everybody. It is Clough Road's second birthday today. How about that? Way! Whatever that is. Right, so what I thought it'd be interesting to do is go through what I projected and what is actually happening on net profit. Well, first of all, that's the last one. So square footage, revenue, and net profit, and just be completely open and honest. There's some positives, there's some negatives, but let's get it all out there and let's see how we did. Right. So first of all, I projected that we would have 14,025 square foot occupied at the 24-month mark. Did we do it? No. We hit 12,205. So we were minus 1,820. Now, there is a small caveat here because we did hit over 14,000 square foot occupied in November, but we had such a bad, and I mean dreadful, 6 weeks, the final 6 weeks of the year, where we lost around about 1,800, 2,000 square foot, somewhere around there, 2,200, I don't know. So it was a really, really bad end to the year. So we would have been at that 14,000 square foot. I feel like it's because of the cycles. We went through December and had a bad December. January appears to be a lot better. So I'm sure we'll get back up to the 14,000. But ultimately, no, we didn't hit it. We was minus 1,825. The revenue. Do you know what? It's absolutely incredible how close you can get to on these things. Right. I projected on the 24th month that we would be taking 26,881. So let's say 27,000. I'm going to round these numbers up or down, whichever's closest. The actual revenue is 28,000. So it's actually, we're plus 845, but near as damn it again. And so this one, we beat the revenue we projected, and the square footage, we lost the revenue we projected. Net profit. Now, there's a massive, massive asterisk here because, yes, it sounds good to be net profiting the amount we're net profiting a month. However, it's not, well, it is true, but it's not cash flow true because that's not taking into consideration the loans we're paying back. So we've got tons of loans for the site because it cost £500,000 set up, whatever it did. Can't even remember now, but it costs a lot to set up. And so therefore, we have got loans to pay back because obviously we borrowed the money in and then we've got to pay it out. So yes, it looks good, the net profit, but there is a massive asterisk saying that that's not our cash flow position at all. So projected profit, this is per month, £12,457. The actual profit was £13,213. So the difference there was £756 extra. We're actually making £756 more per month than we thought it was going to. Again, there is a small caveat here because I do want to get across that a lot of my costs are rolled up into the head office, so into Willoughby, into the head office there, Willoughby. My kid's ill and I'm doing a podcast when he's my wife's going to clip to our other son and he's ill inside. And so, when I say ill, he's hurt his leg and can't really walk and stuff. So I didn't know if that was him coming. Anyway, so to get back onto it, we roll up a lot of our associated costs and we put it through Willoughby. So I've tried to strip them out as much as possible. What we are doing as well, we're at the minute of going through and separating every single site, and it's been its own entity, it's been its own island, it's been its own company, and all the costs will be in there. Obviously, there's certain costs that will have to go through as head office costs. That may be SEO, for example, but it's hard to strip them all out and make sure that we divide down the cost equally to each site. So anyway, so that's what we're trying to do because we're trying to be and act like a bigger business now. And so every single company is going to be, every single facility is going to be its own company. Right, conclusion. This is where I made a mistake because it's a very, very competitive area. And I actually probably didn't respect that enough. I underestimated the fact that there was a lot of self-storages around Clough Road. I just thought, if we outposition people, we can sell better, but we are the dearest. So there's a lot of container sites. Armadillo's just on the road as well, and they're being very, very aggressive at the minute. And so I probably overlooked that and underestimated it. I just thought best location, best facility, Yes, we're the most expensive, but people pay for what they get, and blah, blah, blah. And so that was probably an oversight on my part because competition it is tough. I would, if somebody brought this to me, Clough Road, I would probably say yes, it's a good site, but I wouldn't think you gain tons of square foot because of how competitive. Take Mansfield, for example, only been opened 2 months and we are already at 8,000 square foot occupied, which is crazy. And we're only at 12,000 occupied after 24 months at Clough Road. So the more competitive, it sounds stupid because it's logical, the more competitive it is, then the harder it is to gain that square footage because you've got to share that cake around, haven't you? The customers, you've got to share the customers around, and not everybody will go for 5-star soft storage facility instead of a 1, 2, 3, whatever. And that's no disrespect to other people around us. We're offering different things, and there is obviously some good soft storages around us as well. There's some very, very good soft storages, but there's also some cowboys around us as well. So you've just got to be a little bit careful. And when I say cowboys, they're not really cowboys because when I speak to them, they say, "Look, we're not going for the same customers as you." They've actually even said when I pretend to be a customer, they actually said, "Look, if you want your stuff to be watertight and not get any water on it, then we're probably not the self-storage facility for you." So when I say cowboys, that's probably a bit disrespectful because they've been really open and honest. It's just obviously not the same sort of thing as we are. They're looking more for builders to store, I don't know, cement wheeler things and whatever they're called, or scaffolding or something like that. So yeah, it's probably not fair. But there is a lot cheaper self-storage, and I probably did overlook that. Clough Road was our first manless site. We did have teething problems, but ultimately it's been a roaring success, a roaring success. So much so now that I wouldn't have any issues, any hesitations to open up another self-storage manless. I think it has been a brilliant test, and it works. It works. I put here the back end of 2023 was a bit of a bloodbath for us, and that's had an impact on revenue and square foot. Yeah, definitely. So hopefully 2024 will be a lot better. The site is netting around about £160,000 profit a year, and I expect this to hit around 300k in the next couple of years, just because of revenue management, because we're all still about occupancy there. And once we get past that occupancy part, then we can start really pressing down on that revenue management. Don't get me wrong, we're still doing it, but the more fully you get, the more then you can charge price per square foot. So yeah, I do really expect it to be a roundabout, and price increases. Well, obviously people go through the cycle of price increases. So I reckon this site will net around about 300k comfortably in the next 2 years. Overall, it's a very, very good site, a great location, and I can only see it improving. Like I say, the big takeaway for me is because I genuinely thought if I can outposition people, and I know that our SEO, our pay-per-clicks, our marketing, our sales process, the people we have working there, outposition people and being the best facility, I genuinely thought that it'd be a home run. I still believe that, but less so. I'm less confident. So I would probably lower my expectations how much square foot that I am going to bring in. It still wouldn't deter me because I think we've proven the model saying, look, in a competitive area, we open up, we outposition everybody, and we are the best self-storage facility. However, I'd have liked to see more growth, and it hasn't been as big as I expected. The growth, like I said, I always like to beat my projections, and that was a middle projection, by the way. I always do 3 projections. I always do best case, middle case, and worst case, and that was a middle case. So I would always like to think we beat middle case, but we beat it in terms of revenue, but we haven't beat it in terms of square footage. But what would you rather have, revenue or square foot? I'd rather have revenue. And ultimately, it's still making money. It's been our first ever manless facility. Have we learned a lot how to operate a manless facility? 100%. You live, you learn, you experience, and you get better for next time. And so overall, yeah, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable process. And yeah, it's been a very, very good site. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.